Injuries and senior citizen discounts. Let me make it clear. Senior citizen discounts do not apply to injury cases. Insurance companies think they are entitled to a discount when paying for the injuries of senior citizens. That is ridiculous. Here are the top 5 reasons why insurance companies think they're entitled to a senior citizen discount when an elderly person is injured. Number 1, because of their age, insurance companies take the position that senior citizens are likely contributed to the crash or the injury, or maybe they even caused it. This is complete nonsense. This is in fact what's called age discrimination. And the same way generalizations are not allowed to be made about a person's race, religion, or gender, you can't make blanket assertions about a person based on their age. In fact, the law prevents that and simply says speculations and stereotypes have no place in the courtroom. This argument is complete nonsense, and anyone who thinks it is revealing more about themselves than about the actual case. Number 2, life expectancy. Part of the recovery for injury is how many more years a person has left to live. That is called life expectancy. So if they're going to be in pain or having to deal with ongoing health issues, they're entitled to compensation for the remainder of their life if it's a permanent injury. Sometimes insurance companies wrongly assume that because somebody has a shorter life expectancy, they're not entitled to as much compensation. That is short-sighted. People are allowed to enjoy their retirement. People are allowed to enjoy their golden years. People are allowed to enjoy the final years free of being injured and being in pain. In fact, some would even argue that we work so hard in our lives so that we can enjoy the time we have in retirement and spend that time with family, friends, grandkids, or even doing hobbies. And the compensation for those years is actually worth more than when you're actively working. Number 3, insurance companies say, well, elderly individuals had health problems to begin with, and we can't figure out what's new and what's old and what already existed, so we can't really pay them full value. Or they already had a bad back, so we can't pay for more bad back pain. That's nonsense. Every case is looked at on its own merits, without generalizations. Anybody that's lived is going to have to gone to the doctor at least a couple times in their life. And it's a fact that as you get older, you're going to have more random aches and pains. That's normal. And I would even argue that someone that's over the age of 40 has probably had some back pain in their life, hip pain, joint pain. I know I have. But there's no senior citizen discount because the person wasn't perfect to begin with. That's not how it goes. And a person that injures somebody else is responsible for all the injuries they cause to that person. Number 4, wage loss. Many elderly individuals are retired or nearing retirement, so they're not going to have as much wage loss as someone that's at the beginning of their career or even the middle of their career. And some insurance companies say, well, since they don't have as much wage loss, we don't actually have to pay them or compensate them as much because, well, they're not really working. Again, that is a nonsense argument. It's a red herring. People are allowed to retire. People are allowed to not work until the moment they die. That's a fact. And some, again, would argue that we work so hard during our life so we can enjoy the final period of it by taking a breather and spending it with people you maintain relationships with and doing things you want to do. Simply because someone is not working does not mean their case is worth less than someone that is working. If you lived a full life and you worked and now you're retired, you're supposed to be enjoying the fruits of your labor. And if you're in retirement and you're spending your time going to doctors and getting treatment instead of enjoying the time with your family, friends, and hobbies, you deserve compensation for that. Number 5, some insurance companies say, well, they were old. Something bad was going to happen anyway. That is truly the most offensive argument. And it is essentially not so subtle age discrimination. Elderly individuals are human beings entitled to full compensation. And just because you have some pre-existing health issues doesn't mean the person that hurt you or injured you gets off scot-free or gets a discount on the injuries they've caused you. There's no senior citizen discount on injuries. Everyone's going to have health issues in the course of their life. And of course, elderly people are more likely to have gone to more doctor's appointments in their life than the average younger person because it's a fact you get older, you have more aches and pains. But that does not equate to a discount on the injuries caused by another person. Don't fall for the tricks of the insurance company. Senior citizens discount does not apply to personal injury cases. The elderly are entitled to full compensation. If you have any questions, give us a call, 317-632-3642. Remember, look out for one another and be safe.